Hello and welcome to Anime Out of Context, the show where I attempt to explain the sometimes weird, sometimes wonderful, but always hilarious world of anime.
And I build a big old snowman made of spheels.
Shaun Rollins.
I'm Remington Chase.
And Remington, people are going to think I've run out of ideas.
God damn it.
I've just been on a kick, and I realized something.
Yeah.
We left a gap.
Oh.
We left a big open gap in our history in this podcast.
Yeah?
Yeah. And we can't have that, Rem. We can't just leave gaps lying around, it's unprofessional.
Sure, all right. Well, Shaun will never pass up the opportunity to fill up a gap.
Wait,
ladies.
I don't know if we can. I don't. Okay, I'm just gonna breeze past that. Let's not draw too much attention to it.
Ladies.
Dylan's a great editor. But the point being, Rem, is I wanted to talk more about Pokemon this week. And it's twofold. One, because I noticed a gap. And two, because me and Dylan are actively in a move, and we need something that we can easily get out, easily edit, have a lot to say about, while still keeping an interesting episode, but, leaving room for lots of fun goofs. Because, again, last time we did a proper Pokemon episode, prior to last week, of course, was, 4 years ago. So,
sure.
Give them a double dose to satiate them until we can do more Pokemon stuff in the future,
Yeah.
And the gap I'm talking about, Rem, is, we covered the first movie with Mewtwo and all that jazz, and we covered the third movie with Entei, who's trying to steal your mom.
Yes.
But we never covered the second Pokemon movie.
What? Oh, okay. Wait. Oh, is that the one all about? I think it's about Lugia.
It is.
I don't remember what Lugia does in that, but I know it's about Lugia. Especially, because I didn't give a shit about Lugia. I was like, Ho-Oh has more colors, and it's shinier, therefore better.
Plus, it's the first legendary you see in the original anime.
Yeah. And so I was a Ho-Oh kid, all right? I was a hoe. I was... Oh.
Those are two separate things, right? I don't know if we can bring that about in our wholesome family episode about Pokemon, because our Pokemon episodes never get unhinged or horny.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, no, Rem, we never talked about Pokemon Movie 2, Maboroshi no Pokemon Lugia Bakutan. Now, that name might sound unfamiliar to you because, one, it's in Japanese.
Yep.
But also simply due to the fact that name has nothing to do with what it was called stateside, because this was still in the height of the 4Kids Pokemon dub era.
Perfect.
Yes, so in order to, relate to the kids and the fact that it came out a year after it did in Japan, they decided to call this movie instead Pokémon the Movie 2000. Yes. Because it came out in the year 2000 for us.
Yes, I recall now, yes.
Because, why call it the title of the thing that it's related to? Which is, one is the Power of One, or Revelation Lugia, or just simply Pokemon Movie 2. It had any number of titles. They didn't go with any of that. They're like, yeah, it's the year 2000. It's Pokemon. We're calling it Pokemon 2000. To not confuse anybody in the future whatsoever.
Oh yeah, of course.
And and it's great, Rem, because it features all of your favorite characters. It features, Ash, Misty, Pikachu, Tracy. Our favorite Pokemon protagonists.
Good old Tracy.
Hey, Rem, be honest with me. Do you remember Tracy at all?
Tracy he fails to fill the gap of Brock. Brock is busy doing boring shit. And so they replace
He was working at Professor Ivy's lab, if you must know.
Sure. And so they replace him with a random NPC from the video game.
Oh man, no. He wasn't I hate to break it to you, man. He's an anime original.
Yeah, but he has the vibe of a random NPC from the video
Oh,
game.
I mean, yeah, that's true. Yeah, no. He was essentially
he has the vibe of like a background character that has been obviously like underdeveloped, even just in every way, and then all of a sudden the main characters start talking to them, and then all of a sudden it's like a D&D adoption scenario. All of a sudden they're like, "You're coming with us," and it's like, "Oh, is he? Okay."
And the DM is desperately trying to take attention away from him, but the players are like, but what's Tracy doing?
I could be wrong. Maybe people love Tracy. All right, maybe people think Tracy is dope and rad as hell. And I don't remember shit about Tracy. I just remember that feeling. I just remember the feeling of you will never be Brock.
Oh god. Would you believe me if I told you that he was in a whopping 33 episodes of the original series?
I think I would, because it just felt like there was a long block of time where
with no Brock.
Yeah. And it would be okay if there was like no Brock, but instead of Brock, there was this.
Yeah, no. His whole thing is that he's essentially an assistant Pokemon researcher. So you know how in the anime Brock's thing is he wanted to be the best Pokemon breeder?
Yeah.
As well as wanting to be the best breeder.
Brock is all about that breeding. We all knew this.
We knew. But yeah, no, his whole thing was being essentially the closest thing to like a professor companion that Ash has, more or less.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is his only movie appearance as far as I'm aware. And after like his stint in the show, he's just kind of basically permanently locked on as like Professor Oak's assistant for the most of it. I think he has a cameo in like Gen 3, 4, and 5. I don't know about anything else though. So really, the test of his character is going to be this movie to see if he can beat the NPC allegations.
Maybe there's a surprising amount of depth to him that I never captured when I was a kid.
I mean, there were 33 whole episodes of the original series that featured him.
Jesus Christ.
His main companion Pokemon is a Meryl.
You'd really hope after 33 episodes. Does he ever... I don't recall him ever battling. Does he ever battle? I don't recall that being his thing.
I mean, it's not his main thing. He usually likes to draw pictures of Pokemon.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he's just a side hoe, which, like, granted, Brock became a side hoe largely. But, like, Brock at least you saw be cool, and then he became a side hoe. Tracy, I don't remember a single Tracy's best battles.
Do you remember his last name?
No.
His full name is Tracy Sketchit.
Holy shit.
Because 4 kids. And they didn't want to call him his Japanese name, which is just Kenji. Because, God forbid.
Yeah, oh yeah, truly.
But yeah, no, he's, like, first and foremost, a professor fanboy. And likes to draw Pokemon and research them.
Okay.
Yeah. He also loves bug Pokemon.
Alright, so we're gonna see Tracy fuck a bug.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. From my notes here, and by my notes I mean Bulbapedia. it says that he has a whopping 3 Pokemon in the franchise: Meryl, Scyther, and Venomoth.
God damn.
So in 33 episodes, my man's only had 3 Pokemon.
Oh fuck! All right.
So, but this movie isn't about Kenji.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Tracy for the American audience.
It's about Lugia, who mentally I almost said Luigi, but that's a very different.
That's a very different situation entirely.
Lugia Mangione.
Holy shit. Rem, would you believe if I told you that this was an apocalypse movie?
A lot of Pokemon stories are.
Especially the movies.
I feel, yeah, because it's like at least 50% of legendary Pokemon have world-ending powers.
Correct.
Like, it's amazing that things have been okay.
So, the basic plot of this movie, Rem, and you'll have to let me know if it sounds familiar at all.
Oh, almost certainly.
A rich, greedy motherfucker.
Oh, fuck.
wants to. First of all, he calls himself a Pokemon collector.
Of course.
Which is, a little bit poignant in today's trading card era. Is familiar with a prophecy relating to the legendary three birds, Moltres, Zapdos, Articuno, and how Lugia is kind of the one that, brings them in line. So the villain of this movie is attempting to piss off those three birds to put Lugia in a position where he can capture him for his collection.
Sure. What I like is that he's portrayed as the villain, but like if that's how we had to
do it in the games.
Yeah, if that's how we had to do it in the games, we would not think twice. We'd be like, yeah, we gotta anger the birds and we capture Lugia. I cannot emphasize every time I say Lugia, I almost say Luigi. I want to say Luigi so much.
I mean, look, we would be lying if we said that so many kids probably named their Lugia Luigi. After the Mario character, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously. But yeah, like, I mean, in the games, Rem, we just had to go to a specific island after beating the game, and find him in a cave. Like, if anything, the game way is more honest. like you're not pissing off three other Pokemon to get him to come out and try and save the world. We're going into his home, beating him the fuck up and telling him, you're coming with us.
So it's moral.
Yeah, it's much more straightforward, much more honest. But yeah, no, that's this movie. The movie is literally Ash and his team getting mixed up in this plot and, trying to stop it, obviously.
All right, cool.
Yeah, and Tracy's there.
God damn it, Tracy.
Look, man, this movie is going to be a testament to whether or not Tracy has any grounds as a character. And who knows, maybe we'll do like a montage watch of all of the Tracy featured episodes at some point to see if he had any value whatsoever.
Yeah.
But until then, let's get straight into it. Let's go watch Pokémon the Movie 2000. And we are back after watching the entirety of the 1999 hit film Pokémon the Movie 2000, as it is called stateside. Or, if you prefer, The Power of One, Maboroshi no Pokemon Lugia Bakutan, bunch of titles. This was still in the 4Kids area. Things were weird. And Remington,
Yep.
Tell me. Is Tracy a character? Let's...
I will not be mentioning Tracy's name again in this review. He has not been deliberately omitted. There's simply
not much to say.
No reason to bring him up. He does
I see. Literally
nothing.
Oh, that's unfortunate for who's supposed to be, one of our main heroes.
Yeah. It's there just truly was nothing going on. And don't get Misty doesn't have a ton, but she has a tiny bit of plot that is not really meaningfully resolved.
Mm-hmm.
Misty's plot is she's teased about possibly being Ash's girlfriend. She's like, no, and then she gets jealous. And then she saves Ash later. And that's her whole thing. So she's not super... I'm gonna level with Shaun. Not many of the characters are very relevant in this.
But Remington, this is a movie of one of the most beloved children's franchises in the world.
Sure.
And we all loved watching, Ash and Misty and Brock having a grand old time in the Pokemon world back in the day. So surely this movie has some things in it that are wonderful and redeeming and great. It's great to see our old friends again, yeah?
All right. Okay. Well, here's the deal, Shaun.
Okay.
Pokemon 2000. One doesn't really care about the characters. Ash is the chosen one, and he does
again
those kinds of things. Yeah, and
that happens a lot.
And there's an antagonist, the Collector.
Yes.
And
he wants Lugia. Isn't that just the nastiest evil thing you can do? Want to capture a Pokemon?
I'm gonna level with you, Shaun. I think that's about it. I'm genuinely... I guess the random character they introduce is in third place of character who does stuff. There's the girl Melody. They go to an island. Melody's on the island. She's a rebellious teen against the island's customs, but not really. Like, only in one scene is she really a rebellious teen.
Would you believe that she's not even on, like, the front page of characters listed on Mal?
Well, yeah, because she'll disappear after this and never be talked about again.
Correct, yes. Like, in fact, there are several Pokemon that are ranked above her.
Yes, third place in relevance is her because she has an ocarina and has a song for Lugia. Fourth place relevance, I'll give it a tie between Slowpoke and Lugia as both plot device Pokemon. And I think everybody else is utterly meaningless in this movie.
But hey,
but
Team Rocket's in this movie, aren't they?
Yeah, but they don't do much. They're watching on the sidelines, randomly help for little to no reason, and then try to commit suicide to help one more time.
Wait, hold on.
That's a true plot point. That's an accurate plot point.
That seems a little dark for a children's show.
No, and it's not even, I want to be clear, it's not like, oh, we're doing something crazy with cartoon logic, but in real life that would get you killed. No, they look at each other. One of the climactic moments, Lugia is flying away with Ash and Team Rocket, saving them all. And I don't know, I guess Lugia is struggling with the weight. I don't know, Lugia's a bitch, I guess.
And you're telling me one of the foundational legendary Pokemon from the early generations is a bit of a bitch?
It's got a carrying capacity of one kid.
That seems a little... Considering like, Pidgeys can carry full-ass humans. That seems a little...
So Team Rocket, they look at each other and they're like, look, it's how it needs to go, all right, for the greater good, man. And they let go. And then as they fall, they look at each other and they've been like, it's been good, fam. It's been good, fam. Now we're gonna die. Like, straight up. 100, like, genuinely, that's how the dialogue goes. And then they land in the water and they're okay, but they were ready. They were ready to go.
They knew.
They were like, look, if I need to kamikaze myself for the greater good, it's what needs to be done. And it's like, god damn. But they're not like super relevant because it doesn't.
Oh,
it's like, a huge sacrifice. It does not matter. What? It does not.
You're telling me Team Rocket, the beloved characters from the franchise, that there's no grandeur of them being willing to give up their lives for the greater good?
James confirms he's gay, so he comes out. That's pretty exciting.
I mean, it's not really a surprise, I feel.
Well, it's not a surprise. Look, we all knew, but it's nice to see him come out.
Yeah.
It's nice to see him, like, hey, world, and own it.
Mm-hmm. Especially for the year 1999.
Genuinely. Like, people are talking about, like, relationships with the opposite sex, and he's like, yeah, that's trouble, and trouble I stay out of. And he's just... like, it's just... So let's talk a little bit about how it opens up. It opens up with a prophecy about all the birds, right? And the collector. We get honestly kind of a Ghibli style opening. Because the collector shows up in this massive flying machine and goes to an island, starts bombing it to capture Moltres. And the animation, especially here, is really solid. The CGI is surprisingly impressive. A weird take is that this movie has some of the best anime CGI that I've seen, which is odd.
From the year 1999, huh?
From the year 1999 in a Pokemon movie. Because it just feels like it works. It feels like it fits. Whereas so often it really feels like it doesn't. Now, that's not universal. Towards the end, they'll have this water vortex kind of thing. And that's some weird water. That's not great CGI. But the stuff with the airship, that's pretty solid CGI. And then even when they go underwater with Lugia, there's some like CGI just of the ocean bed, basically, right? Which is kind of weird, and it's not good, but it provides a certain like mysterious, uncanny quality that also works. So, yeah, it's surprisingly passable. The collector, yeah, he wants to catch Lugia and also wants to catch the 3 legendary birds, in part because catching them is dope, in part because that'll help him catch Lugia. And unfortunately, when he starts doing so, the birds control all the weather in the world, namely Moltres. Well, all right, Articuno is snow, Zapdos is lightning, obviously.
Yeah.
Articuno and Moltres, I guess, are rain?
Mm-hmm.
Because melt the water, and then Moltres by himself is when the fireballs hail from the sky, on
not
regular
common
intervals.
weather phenomenon. You can really tell that they were trying to maximize the importance of these Gen 1 legendaries.
There's a reason Moltres is captured first.
Yes.
To let the other 2 go crazy.
Yes, and Gen 3 wasn't a thing yet, so they didn't have any actual, Pokemon that were more appropriate.
So, weather starts going crazy all around the world once Moltres gets caught because the other 2 are going wild. Because they're very territorial. They will swoop in on a motherfucker's territory. Now, there's a whole wide world that they could also try to claim, but they really care just about these 3 islands.
I mean, yeah, obviously. I mean, they don't have the budget for more than 3 islands.
I will also say, one thing I remembered vividly as soon as I saw it, the collector has this sort of holographic chess map with that shows the birds as intricate little pieces on the board. And I always fucked with that hardcore. I still fuck with that. The holographic
Of course
chess
your
map,
nerdy ass remembers the Pokemon chessboard.
It looks so cool. It's holographic. It has a little sort of colorful gem quality. And then we get to the orbs later. Each island of the birds has its own elemental orb that's just this glass sphere, colorful glass sphere with its element inside. Dude, I would love that. Honestly, that may have been 70% of my enjoyment as a kid. Watching
the cool chess set.
Well, and the shiny orbs. I loved intricate, shiny shit.
You do.
All right?
You're a man who loves a good orb. We know this about you.
So Collector just goes about his merry way doing that. Ash is selected as the chosen one, has to grab some orbs. Apparently, the tradition on the island is choose a rando, whoever you feel like. They need to go to 3 islands and then come back and bring them back. First of all, this happens often, apparently. I don't know why they're putting the orbs back. I don't know what's important. I don't know the order of operations there. But even then, why do you just go to a rando who's probably on vacation and be like, hey, I know you were planning on being vacation, but actually go to these 3 islands that are desolate. These are desolate islands. These are not tourist sites. Go on a big ol' hike and get an orb. Good luck. This is all the guidance you would normally get. And then, an insane storm happens, and they're like, oh, we feel bad about sending a 10-year-old. What are you gonna do?
What can you do?
What are you gonna do when you send a 10-year-old? When you send a 10-year-old to his imminent demise, what are you gonna do?
I mean, look, you can trust the 10-year-olds with, cataclysmically powerful monsters, but, send them on a bit of a risky hike. I mean, the morals in that are just so questionable.
So Ash is doing that, and Misty, Melody, all them, they follow along just behind, basically, make sure Ash is okay. They don't do shit. They don't do fuck all. And also the Collector, meanwhile, he goes and catches Zapdos. Everyone else playing Pokemon, this motherfucker playing Pal World, all right?
he is just straight up shooting them, isn't he?
Yeah, he's gonna straight up shoot all of the Pokemon. Capture them, not in Pokeballs, but just these crazy prison traps. And he does capture humans. So he's playing Pal World. He's full Pal Worlding.
Yeah.
He captures the humans. They go free. It's not a big deal. Don't worry about it. Do you want to know what I think is the biggest sin of this movie, Shaun?
Okay, yeah, sure.
Other than the legendary birds in Lugia, and I guess Slowking rather, they don't give a shit about the Pokemon. We don't get a lot of Pokemon fun. Pokemon are just chilling in the background doing fuck all because they're beckoned to the crisis, I guess. So a bunch of them show up, but they're just standing. They're here because they want to help, and they don't do fuck all.
They don't actually help. That's unfortunate.
And then Pikachu does hardly anything. Charizard does vague protection stuff.
I mean,
they're all
Pikachu
used-
shoots electricity at a ball ineffectively for a while trying to get Moltres out. I remember that much.
Well, yeah, he communicates with Zapdos a little bit, and Meowth translates because he can speak lightning. But all the Pokemon, they're just used for utility, and that's boring. That's boring. I want my Pokemon to be used for fun, creative shit. Or at the very least, give me a proper Pokemon battle. At least one. Come on, cowards. That's like the bare minimum. Don't even get that. You get some cool stuff with the birds going after each other, but they do that a lot. It's like, oh, that's neat, and then it just keeps happening, and it keeps happening throughout the entire runtime, and it's like, okay, come on now. Mm-hmm. So it's like, hey, that's a cool spectacle. I wonder what else we'll get. Oh, that's all we'll get. They end up, of course, saving the day. Everything is good and okay. It's exactly what you'd expect. Lugia goes Super Saiyan for a minute. The collector has an ancient Mew card, because...
That's the thing they gave out at the theaters all the time, and Kid Me was always like, oh, I want one so bad, it's gonna be the coolest card ever.
Oh, I had one.
Oh, yeah, same.
And I was like, this is what makes me a cool kid on the playground.
It truly does. It's like, oh yeah, you may have normal Pokemon cards, but do you have the special ancient Mew card? I mean, come on.
And then, so they save the day, everything is good. They sing the song, and the birds are no longer territorial, I guess. And everything is fine, and the weather is fine.
Mm.
And then, also, like, Professor Oak, Professor Ivy, Ash's mom, but not Brock, all also show up.
I mean, you do get a picture of him at the beginning.
Yeah, Brock has a half-second cameo. But when Professor Ivy leaves, they don't bring Brock, which is cowardice. Not even to just have more in the background.
Yeah.
But then again, it's not like Oak, Ash's mom, and Ivy do anything. They show up.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
They show up. And then in the end credits, Pokemon Polka by Weird Al plays. So that's an adventure. That was unexpected.
Yeah, I mean, first time for everything, right?
They don't even play all of it. They play just like 20 seconds of it between songs.
Yep. You'll probably be surprised to know that that's probably not the original the original ending theme.
It is.
Oh, did you watch it in Japanese?
Look, or at very least, they commissioned it in advance.
Yeah.
Apparently, they commissioned a ton of original weird Pokemon music and then just don't really use it.
Yes.
And that's just a thing they do often.
Yes, that's what 4Kids does, Rem. You can't have anything Japanese in a 4Kids anime.
But they don't use it. Why commission all these songs to play some of them kind of in the credits a little bit?
Hey, Rem, guess what? 4Kids isn't around anymore for a variety of reasons. That might be one of them.
It's just very odd. It's just very, very strange. So I think Pokemon 2000 is pretty bad unless you're a Lugia stan. Because they don't do fun stuff with the characters, don't do fun stuff with the Pokemon. They do fun stuff with the birds, and that's about it.
That feels like a bit of a problem, especially when you compare it to the first movie, which had Mewtwo, and like high drama and stakes and such, and like battles between Pokemon, or movie 3, where you had Entei trying to steal your mom.
Yeah, Lugia doesn't even fuck Ash's mom. So, like, how are we supposed to take Lugia seriously?
Look, Mr. Mime could sense what was coming on the horizon, was trying to keep her away from any legendary Pokemon whatsoever.
And yet, still, she goes right to Lugia.
Yeah. Look, man. You may be the expert on Pokemon fuckability, but Ash's mom is the one that's really willing to test those theories.
It is weird that they didn't even go with like a Pokemon Spirit Bomb style scene, because they got all the Pokemon there.
Right.
And once all the Pokemon are there, they're just like, oh, fuck, I don't know.
Yeah, because, like, if anything, I feel like this movie is what perpetuated the myth that Lugia is a water type.
Oh, well, yeah, because it's first of all, a whale. It has whale sounds all the time.
Yeah, it's a
whale.
whale.
And second of all, it controls the ocean.
Yeah.
So, like,
if anything, if they wanted to, like, convince people that it was a psychic type, using the psychic energy of all the gathered Pokemon would have been a great move.
Yeah. The only psychic thing it does is telepathy. And it starts talking, and Slowking starts talking. Lots of talking Pokemon, but it's like, hey, it's a psychic Pokemon thing, plus Meowth, and then later Pikachu. And don't worry about it. It's just... I think this one, while it has some decent moments and some surprisingly impressive animation at times, I think is kind of bad.
So you're saying that of the 3 Pokemon film, the 4 Pokemon films we watched, I always try to forget about I Choose You, but it always sneaks back in from time to time.
Yeah, this one's probably getting slotted in spot number 3.
Because I Choose You fucked you up that much, huh?
Yeah. That one, look.
All from one scene.
The one thing I could say is this doesn't have talking Pikachu. They'll occasionally try to make Pikachu relevant in this one and fail. There's just not a lot going on. But other than that, at least he doesn't talk.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And hey, great news, Rem, is that if this is a bad one, it's okay. We still have over 20 other Pokemon movies we can talk about.
Holy shit.
Yep. And do you remember what... So, like, in theory, if we're doing this chronologically, which I feel like we kind of have to at this point, now that we've righted the wrongs of the past and have covered movie 2, which I think I skipped originally because I remember rewatching it back in the day and be like, but Entei fucking Ash's mom is much funnier. That's a much funnier concept.
Don't get our listeners' hopes up of us covering every single Pokemon movie. It's just... I ain't gonna be around here that long, man. I'm gonna die first, all right?
but Ram, think of it this way: the next Pokemon movie that's still a 4Kids movie, unfortunately, is the Celebi movie. Do you remember that one?
If you were to ask me anything about the Celebi movie, I would say the only thing I can remember, and this isn't very helpful, is that it has Celebi in it.
Interesting. Considering that is exactly what I just told you.
I mean, if it helps, I remembered it before you told me, but it is the only thing I remember.
So if I said Pokemon movie 4, you'd been like, oh yeah, that's the Celebi one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And nothing more.
Literally,
not a single other detail.
Oh, hey, a lot of people really love that movie. So in the future, when we come back, maybe we'll give that one a watch and see what people have to say. And I'll tell you right now, Rem, there are... Pokemon movies have a weird habit of getting extra weird, extra wet, and extra wild as things go on.
Well, yeah, Entei fucks Ash's mom. I know that.
Yeah, like that's a big step up from
you don't need to tell me.
3 angry birds and 1 flying whale.
If anything, like first time Mewtwo is ready to go full genocide. Third one, Entei fucks Ash's mom. It's just the second one where it's like, the weather's super fucked around the world.
Yeah, we got to tone things back a little bit. We don't want to get things too off. But they felt the need to call this Pokemon movie 2000 rather than just the second Pokemon movie or whatever.
They were real hyped about Y2K, brother.
I'm aware. I remember all the stickers remembering everybody to turn off their PCs before midnight that year. That was a fun time.
Wouldn't it have just been, man, what if Y2K just fucked everything up? If only. I
mean, hey, to break it to you, bud, but we didn't need Y2K for that to happen.
Well, yeah, maybe Y2K fucks shit up in a different direction. Maybe that's the
branching timeline we needed.
ever about to say something and be like, no, don't do it.
Do you really? Yeah. Usually it's me telling you to not do it. Because I can see the glint in your eye when you're like, I'm gonna make a joke that is going to be bad for everybody but me.
But that's what makes it fun.
To you, sir. To you.
Yeah.
Not everybody finds, see, I can't make a reference to any of our inside jokes because people won't know those. But trust me when I say, this isn't a podcast-only thing. Remington always will make little stupid jokes and will laugh himself stupid, and we'll just be sitting on the sideline like, yeah, at least he's happy.
Want to hear a new joke that I've been inflicting upon my girlfriend?
Oh, God.
It's a very simple format, all right?
Okay.
It's a very simple format, and I'm sharing this with everybody so they can do it too, all right?
Okay.
When I smack my girlfriend's ass, open parentheses, my girlfriend is a Minecraft villager, close parentheses. And that's the whole thing. And then you just change the parentheses. So, for example, when I smack my girlfriend's ass, open parentheses, my girlfriend is an Italian plumber, close parentheses. Woohoo!
I hate you.
And you can just do it endlessly. Is the great thing.
Yeah, you can, I guess. But I don't think that means that you should. But back on track. Pokémon the Movie 2000, just the worst of the 3 original.
Yeah, in my mind.
Unfortunate. But that's okay.
Like, I think it has a lot of high quality. It's just that, like, what in my mind makes Pokemon good and fun is not there nearly to the degree it needs to be.
Yeah, well, maybe it'll be there in the next Pokemon film we cover. But speaking of which, what do you think the MAL score for Pokemon Movie 2000 is?
Oh, man. Oh, fuck. We all right, This
is gonna be tricky, I think.
Oh, yeah, because it's like, all right, it's Pokemon, it's a movie, there's lots of nostalgia, but especially, there'll be a lot of people who watch it with 4 kids and have some, like, 4 kids hatred going on. There's a lot of ingredients.
Trauma, usually. We call it trauma.
Yeah, there's a lot of ingredients here, and I'm gonna say it's 7.56.
That your final answer?
Sure.
Okay. Well, Rem, only 128,000 people decided to rate this movie, which for Pokemon feels a little small, personally.
Yeah. Well, most people watched it before they had a MAL account.
I mean, that's true. Mal's been around for a long-ass time, but in fairness, when everybody watched this movie and were hyped about this movie, look, man, we were still in the ages when anything remotely nerdy or anime could get you beat up behind school, so, like...
Yep.
It wasn't exactly always there for the best reasons. But with the 128,000 ratings, Pokemon the Movie 2000 is sitting nice and pretty at 7.35.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, because generally speaking, people, like, it's exactly what you say. Nostalgia goggles blinds everything. Most people think this is 7 out of 10 because it's Pokemon. Like, the fact that it's Pokemon carries it a long fucking way.
Yes.
You know? And, like, whether or not that should be the case is hard to say, but this isn't the movie that people are frequently going back to, right?
Yeah.
Like, because I'm willing to bet good money that the second I mentioned Tracy in the part 1 of this episode, half of the people listening went, who?
I cannot emphasize just how irrelevant Tracy is.
Yeah, like, even in a fucking movie that was ran in theaters.
Oh, fuck.
In peak early Pokemon times, my man just wasn't relevant. Everybody's like, where's Brock?
Yep.
Oh, but that is okay. Because, look, one dud Pokemon movie, for every bad Pokemon, there's good Pokemon out there, and we'll get to them. We'll cover some. I think what'll be really interesting outside of Pokemon movies would be to cover some of the more the things that you're interested in. And what I'm talking about are like the Pokemon shorts. You familiar with Pokemon shorts?
Oh, of course I am. There's all right, one sec. There's the one with Pichu.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that one fairly vividly. There's a couple of Pichus. They're in like a town and they go to a building, they meet other people. I don't remember the details, but I remember the setting. Yes. And I remember them fucking vibing, dude.
Yes, I know which one you're talking about, and the Pichus are getting into a bunch of shenanigans, essentially.
Yeah. And that one is a lot of fun, and I also think, to tie it all back together, I think that might have been an available feature to watch on Pokemon Channel.
Of course it is.
So, it all loops back. It all loops back, Shaun.
It all comes back to Pokemon Channel. And the one you're thinking of was the short that was paired with the third movie. So
yeah.
Because most of these movies had a short paired with them before the actual
movie.
Yeah,
because they're a little too short for what they'd like to be, and so they're like, oh, fuck. Okay. You need to fill this fucking runtime, dude.
Because 120 minutes, you can't run a theater for that. Come on now.
They'll kill you.
Oh, excuse me, not 120. What? Well, yeah, it is 120.
Not 120, an hour 20.
Hour 20. Thank you.
Yeah. And And even that hour 20, it's also a little bit
fluffy.
Stretched, you know?
Yeah, it's a little
not,
like, how many times can you see a wide shot of the big CGI, like, helicopter base monstrosity flying around?
Yeah, this simply is not a real tightly written script by any means.
But hey, you know, as time goes on, I'm sure they only get better. Asterisk, not movie 20. We don't talk about movie 20 anymore. So with that in mind, I guess my final question for you, Rem, is there any chance you want to watch a little bit more Pokemon with me?
Yeah, as long as it has more Pokemon.
You know, fair enough.
It needs more Pokemon.
My Pokemon movie didn't have enough Pokemon. What do I do? And with that, thank you all so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. If you enjoyed myself and Remington doubling down on nostalgia while myself and Dylan panic and try to move in a reasonable amount of time, then please head on over to wherever you get your podcast and leave us a review. They mean the world to us, and we do read every single one. And if that is not enough for you, twitch.tv/anime out of context, where myself, Dylan, and Remington occasionally play video games very poorly, which those streams will resume as soon as I am in a place where I can actually stream. Hey, you know, that's just the way these things go. And if that is still not enough for you, then patreon.com/anime out of context, where you gain access to all kinds of lovely bonus material, including the opportunity to be thanked live on the podcast. So, Rem, who are we thanking this week?
Well, as always, we would like to send our regards to all of our bland bitch protagonists, as well as our magical girls, who we really appreciate. But moving on, we get to our yandere waifus, who are the only things I could immediately think of were horribly inappropriate while also being Pokemon related.
I mean, that feels on brand.
It was going to involve Slowking and especially his hat, which I know Shaun is a fan of.
Okay, listen here.
On that list, we'd like to thank Yandere Neko, Wolfire56. Why does everything want Banana Shaun? Where's our DBZ review, you ginger fuck? Wes Kane claiming Nosferatu is the best anime. Week 1 of using my Patreon name to request code Geese. Week 2 of revealing my kinks until you finish Season 1 of Demon Slayer Tentacles. Watching Requiem for Spoonman at 0.5 speed. Variant, totally good. Titaro asks for an okay pun name from Remington, please. Obviously the pun you're gonna get is... See, the problem is you gotta give me something to do a pun off of.
You see why I struggled with it so much when people kept asking me for one?
Because anything is a pun under the right context.
Correct.
Right. But without having any context, puns are useless. They're pointless. Yeah. They're irrelevant.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's your new name. Titan CNH, the Susanator, the Pope, the Holy, the Hare, and the Horny. The Daishmag will conquer the world. The third Zoro as my navigator. The Capybara must leave for a bit because of vet bills, but she still loves you guys. Hey, we love you too. That time I reincarnated as podcast host and forced to weave. That smut has no place in Fairy Tale's 100 Girlfriends. Turban, Super Zoo. Stealing one of Rem's nuts so I can complete the pair. Hashtag one nut chase, hashtag one nut Rollins, hashtag two nut anime out of context. Stacy's mom. Shaun's golden nut in the bunny butt. Shaun wants to give Spoonman a thank and yank. Shaun's bunny insemination clinic now serving low punny. Shaun's hair reparent. Shaun, you should make me watch interspecies reviewers and tell me who you'd soak with hashtag one nut Rollins. Shaun, you can come soak in mommy. Shaun soaks low punny cosplaying Judy Hopps. Shaun ruined my happy sugar life when he got emotional in his cuck chair as he watched the Pope and Judy soak.
I'm in hell.
Oh, fuck it.
You did this to me, sir. You did this.
It's all coming together. Shaun, quit soaking with my grandma, please. Shaun might make Rent-A-Girlfriend account soon. Shaun, put down the Hitler documakara, says PJ's addict. Look, it's not because he loves Hitler. It's Hitler from Inglourious Bastards, all right? It's all shot up. He likes sleeping with the idea of dead Hitler.
You know,
unless you would like to refute that, Shaun.
I can't have any comments on this because no matter what I say, I'd be fucked.
Next we move on. Let's see. Sarah from the Shark Plushie. Shaun's Judy Char is fermented. Who dares open it? Ryan Moody, Ross Palmer, Rhiannon Williams. Remington is right. Rem used the drums of liberation for all weeps from bad anime. Rem ties my mommy milkers into balloon animals. Rem doesn't completely hate my favorite shows. Red Venom, Raptor King, Professor Fox. Pro tips out of context. I won't Google soaking, but did you know, Shaun, that the Radical Bethel Church practices grave soaking? PJ Turtle, Puckwell Musico, One Nut Rollins soaking with Pope Francis and Judy. Miss Baggy Pant, Makeka 7 Hierto, Macaroni Uchiha, Lucky Star is the king of Moe, Link Joe Curl. Let's do rock, paper, scissors. Misuka refuses to do the you're thinking of wavelength between ultraviolet and infrared. Nerd 98, King Rich Rock. Key in his arm, sent to Dylan, story I created. Cassidy, Jax, Jam Hands, Jake Dent. Is this Spoon Man or Moon Spam? I'm making Rem say ethnic slurs until you bring back the Chef No Musco tier, Shaun. Alright, once again, we
gotta Google to make sure.
We do a quick little... Yeah, alright. You gammon. It's basic.
Wait, which one is that?
I'm calling you a hand-faced white boy.
Oh. I mean...
So, I will never get more Ace of the Diamond Now I Cry. I'll force Shaun to binge the rest of BoJack in one sitting in part 3. I did the jump hump for Rem and Shaun soaking. I can't believe I made an account for this. Horny bastards everywhere salute Shaun's astuteness. Hoffner 1962. Had to get glasses because my eyes suck. Gordon Ramsay's raw sausage. Goon General Shaun, why is it so hard to find a goth mommy to soak in? Glenn Michael Dolan, G-Thing 72. Forest Fairy 5 isn't enough. I need 6 Forest Fairies with surprisingly pleasant line reads. Fern the Fern regrets looking up soaking. Farmer Weeb wants you to know how chickens can only make one sound because they can't think outside the box? Van Dyke, Erica McCorkle, Danielle Riot, Daddy Rem, tell me a bedtime story about Shaun's nut. Calderius, Comrade JC, Cheese Monkey, Cat Girls are best girls, give me them cute little paws. Call back to Shaun saying Jelly is his waifu. Rock hard for Geodudes, you have 23 hours before the piss droplets hit the fucking earth. Boring Siren, Blarf. Blackout drunk before butt stuff, says Misuka. Bento Kato. And every day that Raven comes to visit, says Misuka. Amazing Muffin, Aisha Gudgy, a Moe piece of trash. And now we move on to the Boy Wizard tier. What are they going to get this week, Shaun?
Oh man, this might come as a surprise to your It's going to be Gen 2 Pokemon.
Oh, astonishing.
I know.
Crazy.
I mean, hey, some of them might know Astonish, you know? I mean, there's
Sacre Blue. Alright, on this list we have, whoops, I forgot to change my username for a month and called Shaun a cuck for a month.
They get Yanma.
Then we get Wherefore Art Thou, Remio? I crave thine big hole.
Apom.
Umbrasite.
Sunkern.
Truckoon Operator number 42.
Sunflora.
That Mouse Girl.
Pseudo-Wudo.
Thanks to Super Soaker Shaun, my sister and I have never been closer. Hashtag don't fuck your sister.
They get, Meryl.
Then we have Tails begins his training arc.
They get, Quagsire.
Spoonman the Aristocrat.
Espeon.
Silent Secondary.
Umbreon.
Chilling time for Bang Dream, it's my go, and Ave Mujica, says Misuka, as Misuka nods in agreement.
Mischievous.
Scourge has Misuka and an IRL girlfriend now.
Wobbuffet.
Sammy K is all caught up after remembering she's a patron.
Pineco.
Roscoe.
Giraffarig.
Nurikaza, hashtag SONR, soaking one nut Rollins.
Fortress.
Monogatari is everything you ever said you like in an anime. This week it is creative, distinctive, fresh, and different.
How about Gligar?
Misuka wants to know why you played Haru Hikage. Why? Yells Misuka as she scolds Rem.
Snubble.
Misuka still wants to know why you played that song. Why did you play Haru Hikage?
Ramble.
Misuka is a regulation listener that used to listen to Face Jam, but now listens to 100% Eats It, says Misuka.
The most memorable Pokemon. Quillfish.
Mike.
Scizor.
Miguel De Leon.
You get my boy Shuckle.
It's February, time for Bang Dream. It's my go, and Ave Mujica, says Misuka, who is playing Haru Hikage.
Heracross.
I thought motion of the ocean was best. Shaun showed me.
Teddy Ursa.
Hidden Otaku.
Ursaring.
Crimson Reapers, just because of the sides.
Mad Cargo.
Carver 271.
Swineup.
Captain Beagleboy asks Shaun bullshit rule.
Slugma.
Butler Rat is packing everything for his move, and I feel like I'm going crazy how I didn't know half this stuff even existed in my room.
Same, dog. Corsola.
Bloodcell thinking about changing his name to Power Cell, but is worried about the mitochondria joke, says Misuka.
Fanpy.
Beethoven 1201.
Stantler.
Back on that Monogatari grind.
Smeargle.
Also, you get the big hole.
Miltank.
Allfather takes his time to thank the boys for putting out such consistently great content.
You get Entei.
Entei's gonna fuck your mom.
Watch out.
Watch out. Now we move on to the inappropriate Joey Wheeler tier, where... where Shaun Rollins, as Joey Wheeler, will, he will diagnose something going wrong in your life, and I, as Joey Wheeler, will tell you the Pokemon responsible for it, so you can go beat the shit out of them.
Yeah, you gotta beat the shit out of the Pokemon or else it's not gonna work.
Yeah, otherwise they're gonna keep fucking with your life.
That's the only way to stop it.
On that list, we got Rowdy-O.
Alright, the problem in your life is the overwhelming weight of capitalism.
Oh man. And what you are gonna get is let's see, I have one possible answer. But well, I guess yours is a Persian that's fucking everything. No, that doesn't sound right. Yours.
Yeah, first of all, unfortunate Pokemon name choice.
It's true. It's true. So Arceus.
God, it's God's fault.
It's God's fault. Because as we all know, capitalism is a God-given institution. Next we got Rem. If I send another penguin plushie, a tin of cookies, and $100, can I have Shaun? I mean, hey, sure.
Hey, hold on. Aren't you selling me a little bit cheaply?
$110.
I don't think the tens place was the issue.
What the fuck was that sound?
Me choking and laughing at the same time.
Oh, I see. All right. So what's gone wrong in their life, Shaun?
What's gone wrong in their life is let's see. Let's go with man. See, the problem is coming up with problems that don't sound too real or too mean. Let's go with and for some reason I keep defaulting to capitalism stuff. I wonder what that says about my current situation. Let's go with the problem. One of the problems in your life right now is man, like,
come on now.
Fuck it. Healthcare. It's just healthcare in general.
Fuck.
Yeah.
And yours is a malevolent Chansey. Malevolent Chansey who's holding a bad egg. Next we got...
You gotta get that bad egg away from them.
It's true. Next we got Pumpin.
The problem in your life right now is that, man, scalpers be scalping.
And of course, I mean that's Meowth to a T. All right, Meowth is scalping like a motherfucker. He ain't
you
fooling
want your
nobody.
Pokemon ETBs, and it's just like,
Then we got I'm extremely late, but happy lucky 7th. May you suckle many tits and have your schlongs gobbled plenty.
Man, the fact that that's a reference to an anime they want us to cover is pretty funny.
What?
Don't worry about it. We'll get to it sooner rather than later. The problem in your life right now that is being caused by a Pokemon is, you know how when you wake up and you just got like a stiffness on one side? Yeah.
I mean...
Oh, not that kind of stiffness, you son of a bitch.
I mean...
Okay, then yeah, sure, go with that stiffness. What Pokemon's causing that issue? for our lovely listener who is kind enough to donate to us.
Machoke.
No! Don't sleep in the same bed as your Machoke. Even though I think Machoke is your girlfriend's favorite Pokemon.
Oh, God. Do you think Machoke is hung?
I mean, there's a reason he never takes off the belt.
And then we have, last but not least, follow anime out of context on Blue Sky. Do you ever read the little notes I put in the episode post on Blue Sky? OUBAOCP. So we may be able to figure out. I often, I mean, usually around now is when I do, if I'm being honest.
Because you forget it exists until then, because you don't actually have a Blue Sky account.
Well, yeah, look, I use Blue Sky for one purpose, and that's to occasionally check animeconpod.bluesky. Alright. Hey, they're shilling the Patreon. Love that. Reminiscing about the official BS rule. Hell yeah. And look, Shaun isn't hiding his attraction to Nidoqueen and Wigglytuff, alright? That's not...
No,
he has
No.
other priorities. He's very open about his attraction to Lopunny and Slowking. Because they remind him of Pope and Judy.
I need to give them a problem, don't I?
Oh, wait. God damn it. I want to figure out what OUBAOCP means. But apparently it's on the Discord and on the Patreon. What the hell is it? I'm missing something. I'm on both the Patreon and the Discord, obviously. I don't know what it means. What did they get? What's their problem?
Their problem is, they enjoy two idiots on the internet a little too much.
And the Pokemon causing that is, it's Rotom powering everything. Gotta shut that shit down. Thank you for tuning in. If you want to reach out, whether it's for a comment, question, feedback, or recommendation, then you can email us at animeoutofcontext@gmail.com.
Once again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We love and appreciate you very, very much. And as always, don't fuck your sister.
Do 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 do.
Breeder.
Can any of them compare to the satisfaction I would get from a sphere softly inserted into the asshole? You ever wonder how Dylan cuts? Let yourself fail. Let yourself fuck up. If it's your first day on something, that's a-okay, alright? That's gonna be alright. Don't expect yourself to be amazing day one. It'll rarely happen. And even if you're great day one, you're still gonna make mistakes. That's alright. That's okay. As long as you learn from them and as long as you aren't, like, carelessly making mistakes, you're good.